All right, let's talk about something that I'm sure a lot of you know all too well. That super common and, let's be honest, super frustrating problem of your dog stealing food right off the counter. Yeah, if you've ever had that moment where you turn your back for like 2 seconds, only to turn back around and find your dinner has poof vanished, you are definitely not alone. So this sneaky behavior actually has a name, and stick with me because over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly why your dog is doing this and give you a real step-by-step plan to put a stop to it for good. And hey, don't think for a second this is just a big dog problem. Oh no, some of those smaller, super agile dogs can be just as guilty of this little act of clever thievery. Okay, so before we jump into fixing it, we really have to get inside our dog's head. We got to understand the why from their point of view. And I'm telling you, it's probably not what you think. So, when you look at these reasons, here's the big takeaway. Your dog isn't being bad. They're not trying to be defiant. They're just being a dog. They're natural-born scavengers, right? Those amazing smells are like a giant magnet. And when they actually find something, well, that's an instant win. It's rewarding all by itself. And this is so important. Every single time they succeed, it reinforces the behavior. It's what trainers call a self-rewarding behavior. Think of it like a slot machine. They pull the lever, they get a snack. So why wouldn't they keep pulling it? They might just hit the jackpot again. So what do? Look, our first instinct might be to yell, right? To punish them. But honestly, that can totally backfire. They can just make them anxious, or worse, turn it into a fun game of don't get caught. Instead, all the big experts, we're talking the American Kennel Club, Best Friends Animal Society, they all agree on this really clear 3-part game plan. It's all about being smarter than your pup. Step 1, and this is the absolute simplest, most immediate thing you can do, manage the environment. Just prevent the opportunity from even happening. If you keep your counters totally clear of food, there's nothing to steal. The temptation is just gone. And step 2 kind of builds on that. It's about removing any reward. I mean, wiping those counters down so there's not even a single crumb or a little tasty smudge to lick up. You have to remember your dog's nose is so powerful that even a tiny taste is a reward. And that's all it takes to keep that habit going. Okay, now for what I think is the most important part. Proactively training your dog what you actually want them to do instead. See, you can't just say no all the time. You have to show them a better yes. And your number one most powerful tool in your entire toolkit for this is going to be a rock-solid leave it command. Seriously, this command is about building self-control, and it is an absolute game changer. Not just for the kitchen, but for life with your dog. So how do you teach it? This method from the American Kennel Club is just brilliant. You're basically teaching your dog a really important lesson, that ignoring one tempting thing can actually get them an even better reward from you. It completely shifts their focus from that forbidden thing right back to you, which is exactly what we want. All right, so once your dog gets the command in a quiet room with no distractions, it's time to take it into the real world. You know, when the temptations are real and your hands are full of groceries. And this is a really smart way to think about it. You need both proactive and reactive commands in your pocket. Leave it, that's your proactive tool. You use it before they make the mistake. But then you have off. That's your backup plan for when their paws are already up on the counter. Having both means you have a clear, positive way to redirect them no matter what happens. And this right here, this is the key to making it all stick for the long haul. First, you've got to teach them an alternative. So instead of jumping up, maybe they learn to go to their bed while you're cooking. Second, you have to proof the command. Practice leave it when there are more distractions, like out on a walk. And third, and this is absolutely non-negotiable, everyone in the house has to be consistent. If one person lets it slide, it just undermines all your hard work. Look, if you really stick with this plan, combining the management with consistent training, the payoff is huge. You don't just get a dog that stays off the counters. You get a dog that has learned incredible self-control. And just listen to this incredible story about a Bernese mountain dog named Connie. It shows you exactly what's possible. After 4 months of following this exact plan, she was left alone with a block of cheese on the counter. And what did she do? She chose to just sit and wait. I mean, wow! That is the power of patience and positive reinforcement right there. So now you have the complete game plan. It really starts with management, making it impossible for them to steal, and it ends with training, which makes good choices the most rewarding thing your dog can do. You can totally do this, and you'll end up with a safer dog and, let's be honest, a much more peaceful home.